Well, here's my setup. Try to get this door straight. You can see up in here, I got, well, you can't really see, but it looks pretty good, but I've got to get the back of that door up, and I'm gonna try just to jack it here. Oh yeah, that moved it a lot. I don't know how much I moved that. And I'm gonna whack this hinge here. Hopefully. It looked like I definitely opened that bottom up some. And it looks like it's a little high. I don't know if my camera was on there, but I need to get this up about 1/8 of an inch to clear here. I've got quite a bit of room here in the back. Well, I'll put this jack and a piece of wood in it. Try it again. Well, that moved it a little. Unfortunately, this hinge and door down here in the bottom was pretty weak. I had patched this once before. And I've got it fairly good. The door's closing a lot better than it was. When I start jacking up on this thing, it's just kind of flexing and coming back. I'm going to try to hammer this bottom edge right here. I'm going to try to bend this down a little. I don't know how straight that is. Can't really tell too much here, but I'm going to try to knock this down and maybe twist this this door piece in. Try to put a little better lip on it. We'll see what kind of luck I have with that. Well, I did get myself about a 1/16 of an inch there. Quits right in here. I only pounded this much. But I gave it 4 or 5 good licks with a sledgehammer, and it is bending that down a little. And I might be able to grind a little off the bottom of that door. Don't want to do that. It looks like that very edge there's sort of too low right here. Anyway, I'm going to try to pound this bottom piece down a little more. And I think I'll probably have a little success with that. Let me pound it a little more and see what it looks like. Well, I did quite a bit of pounding here and tweaking. I've got this where it's clearing. I think I can grind a little bit off of here, but it's loose now, not hitting. Door closes pretty good. You still need to bring that corner in a little bit, and I can probably grind a little bit of this off, but I think I'm pretty good. I think I need to work on, see what I can do about getting the rest of this patch put in here before I get too carried away. But the door opens and closes really good now, real easy. It's not hitting down there anymore. So heat this up, get rid of the Bondo, and work on the next patch. Now this is pretty bad. I can see down in there I cut this about a 1/4 of an inch off the bottom of the door. Right in this area it's got Bondo, and up right in there in the front, that looks like that's all Bondo. But I put a piece of tape on it, try to cut a straight line here. I have a piece of steel here that's long enough, so I got something to follow. Yeah, this tape's really not sticking very well, but we'll see what I can do about cutting a straight line across here. Well, you can see what's happening. This yellow piece there is a piece of channel iron that I was holding to pound on the door. It's not bad right here, but up here in front you can see they got an inch of Bondo. It looks like I'm pretty good up here towards the front. I'll just have to chisel all this Bondo out of here and see what I got. Well, I got it all cut out. We got a little bit of metal left up here. A couple of them went all the way to the bottom. What I was thinking about doing, I bent this piece here to the shape of the door. I was thinking about just welding this whole piece in here. See what it looks like. Can't really do it one-handed. Let me get it in here and show you what I'm thinking. Anyway, just using that whole piece of metal there. I welded quite a bit right in this corner when I was welding up this door hinge. So that's pretty strong. And I think I can build this area up right in here. Come on, focus. I can, where this is lip is gone completely, I can weld that into the door frame, and this little bit of curve in here I think I can just I can bend that metal again to the right shape, and I'll just clean this up where I can weld into that bottom of that door, and just weld that whole piece of metal in there. That way I got a not a butt weld right here, but I can weld up into this plate, and that should make it quite a bit stronger. I can attempt to put a little curve in it, because this is quite a bit thicker. I don't know what that is, 16 gauge or something, but it's thicker than the door, so the door should follow it. Anyway, I think I can take a wire brush and clean the rust up out of here where my weld won't splatter so bad when it goes in, and just put that whole plate in there and just weld it in, and not try to cut it and, you know, have all the problems with that. That way I can weld right into a good piece of steel that won't blow through here, and this little thin section won't burn out so bad. So I think that's the plan on that. Just go ahead and weld that whole piece in there. I think I'll have my best look and best results. Get me a wire brush and clean that up and set it up and start welding. Well, here it is tacked in. It turned out pretty good. I'm able to weld it in there. Don't look too bad. I've got it flush here. It's following the curve. It's welding into the bottom of the door pretty good. Looks like I got a little triangle I'm gonna have to fix up there. But I got a lot of slow welding to do. But I'll take a flapper wheel and knock this down so I got a little better place to weld too. And it's gonna look all right. Got a decent curve to the door there. I didn't lose any of that. I really didn't want to use any Bondo or anything on this truck. I just wanted to leave it metal. But with that butt weld there, that lap weld, I'm going to have to do something to make that look right. Anyway, I'll flapper wheel it down and have another look at it. Well, here's a little bit more of a result. I'm probably about 80%, 90% welded here. This is probably 3 passes. I grind it off and smoke a little on it. As I by smoke, you can see it's just welding smoke here. But I'm pretty good. I got a few holes. I wound up seeing a little dent coming right there at this area in here. It's coming out, so I can about got this to where I can start doing body work. You can see here on the bottom, it's still got a little gap in it, and it's welded pretty good up in here. I tried to keep as cool as I could, so I'm going to grind it off again and make a couple more passes around here. This is slow. I can only weld about 2 to 3 spots before it blow through. So basically I'm doing three little spots, and move over a few inches, 3 little spots, a few inches, 3 little spots. But it's all looking pretty good. I mean, from this distance, 2 or 3 feet, looks fine. I may be able to get away with just grinding this down and not have to put any bondo on it. I really don't want to bondo it up. Just try to keep that look. I've got some interesting stuff here. A guy gave me these. These are off a 30 Chevy or something. You can't really tell, but the Dodge had a big, long, swooping rear fender, and I've got a kind of a square place there. These are the front fenders. But what I was going to do is cut them right there at the wheel well, and hopefully I can get a fender that'll fit this and go down, and that flat part will be there on the bottom. That flat part you can see on top. Anyway, it'll be a kind of unique looking, and it's a lot wider. You can see this is probably 2.5 feet, and I only got about a foot, so I'll have to do quite a bit of channeling on this, or not channeling, but I don't know where you cut the middle out. Just shrink them down to the size. So I'm going to cut these up today, at least one of them. Got some interesting parts on here. I don't know if this was a frame cover or what, but it's pretty good sheet metal, and the guy just gave them to me. This top fender is pretty bad, but the bottom one's in real good shape. And I've got some braces in here. Really can't see it, but I've got some good parts. They'll get welded in. I could probably use another front brace up there. I may use some of this to brace this rear fender, because these are just held on right now with bolted onto the bed. But if I can get something that'll go on there, this will look all right. I am not going to mess with my mufflers. I'm going to leave them coming out like they are, so they'll be under the fender. In that case, I would turn that extension pointed towards the ground more. But I'll do that today. I'll kind of roughly cut these up and see if I'm going to be able to use them. But I think it's gonna work out. We'll see. If I can get them in there, it's going to be a unique rear fender. Nobody will ever have one like this. I couldn't stop myself. I cut this up. I cut about, oh, I don't know, 8 inches off the corner down to pretty much nothing back here. I think this looks really cool from the back. It's got the little swoop there. It sort of looks like the front, but it's got a unique look. And I've got the flat point right at the bottom of the bed. The fender is actually kind of fitting in here pretty good. Looks like I can move it forward 2 or 3 inches, which will center up this wheel much better. I've got about I don't know, 6 inches, but it's kind of hard. I can't get away from it, but that's pretty nice. And I would just, the more I'm looking at it here, I don't need to have that fender way inside there. I can have it out here like this. And I've got the other fender. It's a real nice shape. This one was chewed up. This front part here kind of rusted and cut, broke, all down here. But this fender's in real good shape. And I measured the whole thing. So it looks like the length of this fender is about where this tape is. So it's plenty good just to put the whole fender on it. So it's kind of weird. The back fender is going to almost look like the front fender. It ought to give it quite a swoopy look here. And of course this has got a kind of a curved place, but I got about 8 inches I can cut off of here, and that's gonna probably put me right in this area somewhere. Cut about 8 inches of the front of that off, and in this area I can it'll look like this. So I think that's going to be pretty nice. It looks kind of stupid right now, but only if I'm trying to match it up to that square fender that I've got in there. But basically I think it looks nice. It's particularly right here from this angle. No telling. But I just kind of laid it up here. That's what I'm going to finish doing. I'm just going to finish getting this. I can weld that back together, of course, no problem. And I've got some 3/8 round that I can sort of make a cage here. And of course I can weld a flange on it, bolt that right to the bed. And this is going to make it look pretty good. Before, you know, the end of the bed looked too long. Made it look like a bobber, and if I cut it off at the fender, it would really look kind of short, because this front is so long. You know, you can see that it's got a big long fender here, and I think I can cut this fender up bring it over and take it straight down to that floorboard. A little more fabrication, but I think it's going to look so much better than what it did before. Yeah, this looked okay, but it didn't really have the look I wanted. And this big giant front fender here, and then I have basically the same giant back fender. I think it's going to look a lot better with those fenders on it than this bobber look. And this one really wasn't straight anyway. It was pretty good when it set down. But as it is, you know, this is probably going to go down about 3 inches when I get it off these jack stands. So the round curved part of the fender is going to be just about right for the wheel well, and I have plenty of room for it for the tire to go up under the fender. So I'll do a little more work tomorrow and cut up what's left of that fender and sort of weld it together where it's holding a good shape, and lay it on here. And once I get my links, then I know how much to cut off of that other fender, and I'll just put that other fender on here, cut it, stick it up there, and that'll gonna give me the whatever look that I've got. But anyway, get back to welding up my door. You know, I get enough welding done to start getting this metal work pounded out. I've got a pretty big lump right here. Couldn't really get this section here out. Can't get nothing down in there to it. But I've got this pretty straight. Still got, looks like a pretty good lump in it right there. I can heat it and put cold water on it, get a lot of that out. I ran out of that rod. It was Blue Demon. I switched to some other stuff. I think it's from Harbor Freight, ER72. But you can see how I'm able to lay a pretty good bead on there instead of just spotting and clumping. So that's all good solid metal. And once it's cleaned off, that'll be a that's a fairly decent metal there. So places like this little bead right here, well, it's a little lumpy, but it's a lot better than it was. It looks real bad here in the camera, but Anyway, I mean, it looks bad up close, but when you get back a ways, it's not too bad. This, I'll try to get it out. I'll shrink this. It's really not too bad compared to the whole door. It's about the same shape. I'll try to shrink it a little bit. Problem is I can't get anything back in there to pound. Anyway, I've got this welded up. The front up here turned out real nice. Again, with this new rod, that'll grind down pretty good right there. And the bottom of the door is pretty good. I might have a couple of places on it, but I'm not gonna spend forever on this. I'll clean it up best I can, and see what it looks like. I mean, I think I'm just gonna have to put a little thin skim of Bondo across here and be done with it. I've been working on this for 2 days. It's real slow. You gotta weld a little bit, grind and weld, grind and weld, grind and weld. Well, you know the story. But I'll finish this tomorrow. I'm basically going to have to grind it down. I got it welded solid. There's no real daylight or anything showing through it. Can't see down in there. There's no light showing through, so it's welded pretty good. Good enough for this. I'll just hit any little pinholes, grind it again. Call it good for that one. Well, it don't look too bad. I've got this pretty much ground down. You can see here in the bottom. Got it pretty straight. The metal here, this is curved quite a bit, and this is way too low, at least thickness of the metal. It's stronger, but I should have probably made a butt weld in there. Anyway, I've got this chewed down as about as good as I can get it. I'm gonna mix up some Bondo and throw on it. See what I got. I'm not real pleased with any of this, but the back didn't turn out too bad. But I need to patch this up. And this outer edge here is out a little too much. I could probably get that front edge in a little. This has got to come out right in here, but it's good from about here to all the way over here. So I got 80% of this door right. I can pound that lip in a little bit. Can't really do too much about this. Like I say, I'm not too pleased with it, but at least it's patched, and I'll just give this a go with some Bondo. I've got some around here. I don't think it's going to take a hell of a lot. We'll see. Well, this didn't actually turn out too bad. Got a little bit right in here that I need to fill. A little right through the middle. I just hit it lightly with the DA. Take it all down. But you can see all of the little spots in there. It surprisingly took very little Bondo, and you can see right across here, this is all pretty much straight. So it's cold in here, so this Bondo's not hardening up very fast, but gives me time to put it on. Then I put a heater on it. So I think one more thin coat here to establish my curve, and I'll be good with this. That's about it. Probably a golf ball sized thing. It's probably still just a little bit low, but it's a pretty light coat. Went on real smooth. Got me a little heater on it here. It'll kick it off. All in all, I turned out to be a good job. It was sure a lot of welding and grinding. Looks like I probably got a couple little low spots in there still. But this will be easy to fill up. It's basically real straight, so sure looks a lot better than this hole here. I still don't know what I'm going to do about that. Haven't really decided. I think probably what I'll do is just cut this straight. Weld me one flat piece across here. Probably ought to do the bottom first. I think that's what I'll do. I'll just put a flat plate here on the bottom that's been cut like this. Once I get that basic shape welded in there, then I'll make the bottom plate, and then I'll make a straight up and down plate. How I get this little bend in here, I'm not sure. But once I get a piece of metal, I could just make this out of Bondo. I mean, I hate to do that. Probably if I had I've got a piece of 3/8 rod that I could split in half, and that would sort of give me this, almost that curve. Not sure, but I got to do something about it. I can't just leave it like that. Anyway, Bondo on this pretty much done. Think a little, let this dry and sand it a little bit, and then I think I could probably put a little in here and a little right there. but it's very little compared to a lot of this stuff. This door actually is real good now. I've got it clearing pretty good down in here, and I've got a straight thing here, and this is almost level. It's good enough to, I don't have a door handle on it, but it's closed real good, and it closes good, and it looks pretty good up here at the top. So good enough for this old rusted out door that I had.